Well, hi Roger, thanks for talking to me, but before we start, what a fantastic start to the season. What are you doing?
Thanks, Nick. Well, it's been great. I mean, the horses have been very healthy and they're winning lots of races. And we've worked very hard at it, really. I just knew that I needed to win more races this year, and I spent a lot of time placing horses and looking at the form book and really seeking out the right race. And we've achieved at the moment a 26 or 25% strike rate, which is great. So not too many wasted trips to the races. And, it's been working very well.
Oh, it was great. Well, let me ask you first, how did you actually get into racing?
I had a sort of background with horses and riding all my life, and did a little time with a national hunt trainer, and then had a wonderful education with Jeremy Tree, who was a marvellous trainer and a very good teacher actually, and I spent 13 and a half years at Beckhampton learning from him.
Okay. What makes a good trainer?
Well, I know it's a difficult question. I think there's some wonderful trainers in this country and all over Europe, fantastic people that probably all do things slightly differently. I think having the time and the patience is very important, and really understanding the horse and really getting to know your horses and seeing them every day and going around evening stables and trying to make that horse as comfortable and as happy as possible. And indeed pressing the button, putting pressure on at the right time, finding the right race. And good staff is obviously very important. We've got a lot of wonderful people, head lads, travelling head lads, my assistant Tom Grantham, my secretary Michelle, that have been there a long time and are very, very experienced. I think we sort of range from sort of 15 years to 30 years. And that is an enormous help, and some excellent riders and work riders. But Beckhampton, I have to say, is a very special place. It's really been training horses very successfully for nearly 200 years. And if Fred Darling and Noel Mullis and Jeremy Tree were all very successful there, they were great trainers, but I think they were much aided by Beckhampton. Just having, all those wonderful gallops and, summer gallops, winter gallops, peat moss gallops, mile and a half gallops, bendy gallops, twisty gallops, is a great asset, and it's a great place to train horses.
Well, I mean, I've really thoroughly enjoyed coming down and seeing all these amazing facilities, and also your staff seem like they have a lot of fun and they're very relaxed. So I think that the Beckhampton facilities obviously are so important to you, because you can actually come and go when you like, and you can put them on any gallop that you want. You don't have to queue up and stuff. So that must give you a tremendous amount of freedom.
Yeah, I think it's a great place, because you're always going to have the odd tricky horse that needs to be going by itself or doing something different, and I can decide where to go and when to do it, and there's, as you say, there's no sort of that gallop's not open.
What races, Roger, gives you the most satisfaction?
Well, it's hard to get away from the Derby, which was a great moment, and I'm very lucky to have such a good horse. But I think winning any races, and I think that a lot of owners get terrific pleasure from winning small races. If your horse is not very good and not very sound, and maybe even a slow learner, when you win a race, it's a great feeling. And I have to say, this business is about winning races, and you can have a great celebration after winning a Seller. It doesn't have to be a Derby. But big races count, and indeed the handicaps give me enormous amount of pleasure, because if you have the best horse in a group race, it'll probably win. You may not have the best horse in a handicap, and some of those handicaps, 28, 30 runners, maybe the draw, maybe the weather, all sorts of factors come in, but they're worth a lot of money, and we've been extremely lucky over the years to have won a lot of great races, and 2 Cambridgeshires and Wokinghams and Stewart's Cups and Genkis and things like that are just as satisfying as the group races.
So you have a mixture of owners. Obviously you've got your owner breeders, those wonderful Derby wins that you have, but obviously there are other owners in the yard, syndicates, small owners, partnerships. You cater for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of fantastic support from, Juddmonte Farms have been amazing. I've had horses with me ever since I started, and I'm very lucky to have such a good breeder. Her Majesty Queen has been an amazing supporter, and she's incredibly knowledgeable and loves her racing. But equally, there are plenty of other breeders, and indeed all sorts of owners, from elite members, and where there's 15,000 people, and visits for 250 people, and they have a great day, and they love to see how the yard works, and anybody's welcome to come to Beckhampton, because I think once they've been there, they'll realise it is actually a special place. And I think it's important to kind of see your child when it's at school and get pleasure, see what you're going through, see why it's not running, understand the problems that horses have when they're put under pressure.
Yes, and I think, as you say about Elite, it's a great way to get into racing to start with, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is good to see that that's such a good company. Well, thank you very much, Roger, and let's hope that your form continues, and I look forward to interviewing you later in the year to see what the end results are going to be.
Thanks, Nick.
Okay, thank you.